Alrighty then. Welcome to LFC Red Forever channel, people. Today we're gonna be obviously celebrating Mr. Jurgen Klopp's 6-year reign at Liverpool Football Club, and everybody knows how we feel about Mr. Jurgen Klopp. Probably the best manager we had for years and years and years. We had a lot of them. We had a lot of them, as we all are aware, and. You can't deny that with Mr. Jurgen Klopp as well. But yeah, we're going to be talking about his 6-year reign. So please like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you in a second after this. International break just gives me a headache, people. And like when we don't see our team playing, and it's one of those things, in it. It's just gonna be. We just have to cope with it. Oh, by the way, the boxing wasn't all right. Was all right yesterday, wasn't it? It was really good. Deontay Wilder versus obviously Tyson Fury, and Tyson Fury won the match. But what a match it was! And you got to give prompts to both of them because they deserve it. They absolutely deserve that. You know that kind of when a boxer, you have to give them homage. Like you got to like respect them for what they've done as well. So you got to give them the congratulations and thank yous from everybody else who likes boxing, in it, because the boxing is a thing of the past at the moment for some reason. I don't know why. UFC is the new thing everybody's talking about, but boxing, I'm an old school. Boxing is one of my favorite things, and yeah, I really, really enjoyed that match yesterday. And what a boxing match! What a boxing match between those two. Congratulations to Tyson Fury, by the way. Commiserations to Deontay Wilder. You know what I mean? But yeah, let's give ourselves the history lessons here, people. With Liverpool Football Club. Jurgen Klopp has been at Liverpool for 6 years. Yeah, 6 years in charge, 6 years of success as well. Don't forget that. But this started somewhere, so I'm gonna give you guys a history lesson. So we'll start with where it all started, which is Bill Shankly. Liverpool were successful before Bill Shankly, but we was in the old second division when he came in, and he changed the surroundings at Liverpool Football Club. So let's start with Bill Shankly. He's probably the greatest manager that's ever managed Liverpool. I agree with that 100% for what he's done. Picked us up from the lower second division. He's like a toilet, he said. He's won 3 first divisions, and he won 2 FA Cups and 1 UEFA Cup. He could have won a Champions League, but those days were dodgy days in regards to that. Like I think something happened with the Inter Milan game or something along those lines, and we didn't win it because of some dodgy decisions. As far as I'm aware of, when I read about Liverpool history, of course, obviously I'm not that old. I don't remember. I don't go that far. Well, Bill Shankly when he was in charge. But yeah, so you got to like start from Bill Shankly, then you go above that, and he bought us everything. He bought if, the identity of a football club wouldn't be where it is without this manager, and this manager is a lot like Klopp if you think about it, and what the way he talks, the way he commands respect. That's how Klopp does it in the modern day, and thanks to Mr. Bill Shankly and everything at Liverpool, the honours, the respect around the world is because of him, and you got to give him the prompts at the end of the day, and all the people have to be respectful towards Bill Shankly as well. Yeah, so after Bill Shankly, we went to Mr. Bob Paisley. Look at that. Since 1974, 1983, this guy has won 6 first divisions, 3 European Cups, 1 FA Cup, 3 League Cups, and 1 UEFA Cup, and 1 Super Cup. So if you look into that, and you talk about Fergie and all them lot, yeah, the amount of years they've taken to win titles and all that stuff. Look at this guy's honours. I mean, in such a short time as well. It wasn't even that long. I mean, it's like 9 years, and look at all that honours. I don't remember Fergie doing that. I don't remember any manager doing that. So I don't know why he doesn't get the respect that he deserves. And And don't forget, he was part of Bill Shankly's backroom staff, and he was offered the job when Bill Shankly left, and then he took it, and he took it to the next level. Probably, listen, Bill Shankly is always going to be the greatest Liverpool manager, but like winning trophies and honours and all that stuff, this guy has done it all, Bob Paisley, and you can't really deny that. So I'm just giving you a history lesson about Liverpool from Bill Shankly onwards, and then we go to Klopp at the end, just to prolong this actual stream. So it's gonna be nice. It's gonna be nice. So you got Joe Fagan, another one from the backroom staff. He was only charged for a couple of years, from 1983 to 1985. The Heysel really got to him. He was devastated after what happened to the fans. Like Heysel, it was one of those tragedies that Liverpool Football Club always pays tribute to as well. And after that, he wasn't the same man. He was actually, he felt down for a long time, so he didn't really stay long as a manager. But he's won a few things. If you could see, he won the First Division, he won the European Cup, and he won the League Cup as well. So the success continued with Joe Fagan as well, even that he stayed in the job for a short time. And we don't know where he could have been. And don't forget, people, we was like banned from Europe for 5 years after that as well, after the Heysel. So you got to think about that. If you want to learn about history about Liverpool, that's what you got to look at as well. Like, you're wondering why Real Madrid has all these titles. I think about 13 Champions Leagues or something along those lines. We was winning on a regular. We was beating the likes of Real Madrid and teams like that along the way to winning Champions Leagues. What was European Cup those days? That's the name of it, because the only ones who could compete in it is the actual team that wins the league in their own domestic country. So that's the way it used to be back in the day. And yeah, so Joe Fagan is another legend from the backroom staff of Bill Shankly. That's what we used to do back in the day, people. Like, if you look at Liverpool Football Club, it used to be in-house. As soon as we turned away from in-house, that's when we lost our respect for ourselves, and the world respecting us, because we used to win a lot. You know what I mean? With this team, with this team of coaches, they used to just replace each other on a regular basis, and we kept everything in-house. Nothing used to go outside Anfield, and hence why we used to win trophy within trophy. Because when you get people from the outside, they still have those passion for the other teams they used to play for, they used to follow as a kid. But these guys, they were all together as one, and the list goes on, because Barcelona tried that as well, and it was working to a certain extent. But now Barcelona have bankruptcy, they got issues with money, and it shows like they overspent and they're struggling with that as well. So yeah, even Barcelona copied Liverpool, people, believe it or not. And these guys, the way they play football, don't forget, it was like one touch football. We used to like play pass and move is the Liverpool groove, you know what I mean? So people forget about that. Like, we invented this pass and move, and beating teams with that kind of style. So when Joe Fagan left, everybody knows this guy, probably the greatest player that Liverpool ever had, and he's going to come back later on as well, Mr. Kenny Dalglish. From 1985 to 1991, he was a manager. He won 3 league titles, 1 FA Cup and 1 League Cup. We wasn't competing in Europe, everybody knows that. We had issues in Europe at that time, and it was kind of difficult, concentrating just on the league and not European Cup, because European Cup was our tradition, and that's how we used to win at Liverpool Football Club. It was unjust. With that team Kenny Dalglish had, it was just a tragedy they didn't compete in Europe. I tell you why, people. They had John Barnes, Ray Houghton, Steve McMahon, Ronnie Whelan, Alan Hansen, Gillespie, Staunton, and Nicol. The list goes on and on. And we had Peter Beardsley. And if I can mention these names and people remember it, they'll think to yourself, like, that was one of probably the greatest team that Liverpool ever had. That team, it was in history for a long time as the greatest footballing team in Liverpool's history. And it's just unfortunate that they couldn't compete in Europe, because can you imagine like how many European Cups we'll be sitting on if that team was competing in the European Cup? Wow, 3 league titles, man. And it's unfortunate, in 1991 Kenny couldn't handle it anymore, so he said, you know what, I can't do it anymore because of the 1989 tragedy, Hillsborough disaster. It just took its toll on him. I think they said he went to all 96 funerals as well, and it just took its toll on him, and he had to leave. Unfortunately for us, because the success just disappeared after that. If you look at if Kenny was still there, how long the success would have been there, and would there be a Ferguson in this time? I don't think there would have been Ferguson, because Liverpool used to just transform on a regular basis. We sell our players, bring new ones, we keep going, we keep going, we keep going. That's what we used to do. We put them in the reserves, and then as soon as the players in the first team get older, we just replace them with the other players, and we used to just go around like this every single time, and we used to have success on a regular basis. And I don't think there would be Man United if Liverpool was intact with Kenny Dalglish still. I don't think there would be Man United catching us like the 18 titles. Don't forget, people, Man United was 7 titles in the old First Division. When they came into the Premier League era, that's when they started winning a lot of trophies. So there wasn't always massive like people say they are. We was at 18 and they were still on 7. Can you imagine that? And the Premier League wasn't made for us. It was made for a team like Man United. They needed a promotion to a team to be, representing the Premier League. And unfortunately, they had to create a new one. And Liverpool was on the forefront. Obviously, Liverpool was one of the ones that said, let's start this new league, this new Super League as they called it at the time. And we wasn't part of the success of it, because they made sure we were down below, and Man United start winning the league on a regular basis. And but the thing is, to me, people need to understand, yes, you can win the Premier League on a regular basis, but you have to dominate Europe also. So basically what I'm trying to say here, where was the European Cups for Alex Ferguson if he's the greatest manager that ever lived? Yes, he won one in 1998-99 season, I think it was, and then 2008-2009 season. So he's in a span of 10 years, he's won 2 European Cups. But look at Bob Paisley, in the span of 9 years, he's won about 3 European Cups, 6 league titles. You know what I mean? So don't discredit your football club. That's what I always say, because we are the ones who set the trend, and we are the ones who should have respect from everybody else, not the other team that's been forced. They're not forced, put in a position for them to be the number one team in the UK, not in Europe, but in the UK. You know what I mean? So that's what you got to look at as well. So when Kenny left, Ronnie Moran took over a little bit, as I remember, as a caretaker manager when I was growing up. I can remember that bit. And then they brought this guy along, Mr. Graham Souness, one of probably the greatest midfielder we ever had, success-wise, as a player. But as a manager, he tried to change a lot, and he got rid of the boot room. He tried to put his own stamp on things, coming from Glasgow Rangers, but it just didn't work. He won 1 FA Cup, and it was one of those things that it was just a downfall from Liverpool. I think the players aged when Kenny left. We didn't replace them. Like we used to, get players and put them in the reserves, and then rotate like this when players get old, leaving. Unfortunately, he didn't last. He was there from 1991 to 1994, won FA Cup, and Liverpool was just in one of the probably lowest times in the history of the football club, and unfortunately he had to go. As a manager, he won't be remembered fondly, but as a player, come on, people, he's the greatest midfielder that ever lived at Liverpool Football Club. Let's be honest there, man. You can't just disown him like that. The guy's won European Cups, league titles, multiple stuff for Liverpool Football Club as a captain as well. Yes, everybody talks about Gerrard and all that stuff, but this guy's won more than him 3 times over. So as a player, I'm talking about. So respect Souness. Yes, he apologized for what he's done at Liverpool Football Club, and he tells it on Sky Sports how much he loves this football club. And everybody makes a mistake, but sometimes you got to forgive. And I've forgiven him. I was pissed off for years and years. We was never gonna be the Liverpool that we already know. But then again, we're back, so you got to give him, the respect he deserves as a player. And this guy took over when he left, backroom staff. As everybody knows, Roy Evans, he was a reserve team manager for a while. He's won only 1 trophy, which is the League Cup. To me, he was a good coach, but he should have never been a manager. I think that he's been pushed into a job that he shouldn't be doing. And... don't get me wrong, he played 3 at the back. You know what they play now, at Chelsea, 3 at the back. This guy is the one who invented 3 at the back. with Neil Ruddock, John Scales and Phil Babb, and then you had McAteer and Stig Bjornaby as a left back, you know what I mean? So Rob Jones, the list goes on, you know what I mean? John Barnes as a central midfielder, not that the John Barnes, the flying winger that we grew up to love, you know what I mean? His days were gone at those days. And you had Marco Thomas, Jamie Redknapp, Steve McManaman, you had Ian Rush, you had, the list goes on. We had so many players in that. Stan Collymore we bought as well for a lot of money with Roy Evans. But it just, even though we played the best football in the league, we was never going to win the league title, because Man United made sure, and Sky Sports and the Premier League made sure Liverpool will never win the league title as long as Alex Ferguson is around, as a manager. And it was just unfortunate, in my opinion, because he played some exciting football, Roy Evans. Oh, some of the football I used to watch with Robbie Fowler up front, and Steve McManaman dribbling from deep, Jamie Redknapp doing the passing, and John Barnes just intercepting the ball and doing through balls for the other players. It was just an underrated team, but it's just unfortunate they didn't win the league title, in my opinion. And after that, Roy Evans' time was ticking. They brought this guy along, Mr. Gerard Houllier. They done a joint manager. You know what I mean? That never works. At Liverpool Football Club, there should be never a joint manager, if you know what I mean, people. And that was a strange one. Very, very strange. It didn't work, and then it didn't even last a season, as I remember. And then Gerard Houllier took over sole control. Everybody knows who Gerard Houllier is. He brought us back to, the European stage, the UEFA Cup. He won, obviously, and he's won the FA Cup. He's won the League Cup a couple of times, and the European Super Cup as well. I guess Bayern Munich, as I remember, in Monaco. I think Heskey scored. I think Heskey and Owen scored. I just remember vaguely. You know what I mean? With Gerrard, the football wasn't exciting, but he did bring back Liverpool to the stage of where they belong, and. We haven't looked back since. I don't think we'll look back since, and we're continuing from that time till now to be successful. And unfortunately, obviously, he passed away, but we're always going to remember him for what he's done for us, and bringing us back to where we belong. He might not be the best football in the world, but listen, he's brought you back to the elite level of football, and you can't deny that. You can't deny that from Gerard Houllier. So when Gerard Houllier got ill, Phil Thompson took over a little while, and there was always going to be a next manager coming in. And fortunately for Liverpool, it was this guy here, Rafa Benitez. Unfortunately, he's coaching Everton Football Club. You know what I mean? So loyalty doesn't exist in football anymore. Because if you are loyal to a club, you should not manage their rivals by any means necessary. And unfortunately, he has now. He's our enemy, and it's unforgivable from my side. But let him do what he wants to do. If you know what I mean. I'm not gonna be here crying about it. We've got the best manager in the world of football, and the most exciting manager in the world of football, which is Mr. Jurgen. And Rafa Benitez is it's not forgotten about, but Jurgen Klopp is the one for us now. He stayed with us from 2004 to 2010. Everybody knows the 2005 Champions League final. Impressive management. If you look at that team, you wouldn't even put them in any team in the league right now. Jimmy Traore as a left back. You know what I'm saying? And you had Igor Bishkan and players like that in the team. It was just all over the place. But we made it to the Champions League final and beat AC Milan. Listen, at one stage I threw my shirt away. I had to bring it back because the second half was just amazing in that game, and obviously it ended up 3-3. And Liverpool won on penalties. He's won FA Cup as well. Everybody remembers that one, the Owen final, when Thierry Henry was playing for Arsenal. They dominated in that game, Arsenal. They absolutely brutalised us, as I remember. But somehow, some way, we came back and we won. I remember that Patrick Berger pass from the halfway line towards Owen's path. And, he was outpacing Lee Dixon and Tony Adams. And then he shot it with his left foot. And then David Seaman couldn't even reach it. I was shocked. I said, Owen has got a left foot? That's a shock. And he done it. So Rafa had his moments. But as time went on, he had that 2008 and 2009 season. I think we was only beaten twice. But we've never won the league. And It was just unfortunate for that season because the players we had, we should have won something big, if you know what I mean, people. You know, when you got Fernando Torres and you got Ben Hayoum, you got Gerrard, you got Albert Riera, you got Alonso, Mascherano, you got Hupia, you got Carragher, you got Arbeloa, you got Aurelio, you know what I mean? And then you got Reina in goal on top of that as well. When you got all these players in one team, surely there's a title along the way, but it was just that season, and this next season he tried to buy Gareth Barry to replace Alonso. I don't know what the hell this manager was thinking. Gareth Barry for Alonso, are you winding me up? Really? Gareth Barry and Alonso, that's what, the quality is, you know, far apart. How can you even think about for something like that, Rafa? Yeah, so that happened, and he left in 2010. The team was just in decline. We couldn't come back anymore. We had those two cowboys in charge of us. Everybody knows Gillette and George Gillette and I forget the other guy's name. I'll come back to it in a moment. Yeah, the two cowboys just made Liverpool a joke, absolute joke, and then we had to fight in court. Fortunately, FSG came through and taken us over. At the time, this guy was in charge, won 0 trophies. I don't know why he became a manager, but it was a bad times at Liverpool. A lot of fans were arguing in the stands, and there was no backing for him. Nobody wanted him at the club, and we was like fighting everywhere. Like, it didn't have to be in the stands. We was fighting everywhere in football, where Liverpool fans are. It was just bad all over, and he stayed obviously for a season. Bought us Joe Cole. The list goes on. You know what I mean? And it was pretty bad. It was just a bad sign at Liverpool, and a lot of fans were turning against each other, and it was just no recovery from there. But luckily, the takeover happened with FSG, and because of the issues we had along the way, they had to get rid of Roy Hodgson, and they brought in this man, which is Kenny Dalglish. Obviously, I haven't got the photo of what he won as second stint, but he brought everyone together. We wanted Kenny back. We need someone that relates to us, someone that loves us, someone we love back. You know what I mean? And fortunately, Kenny Dalglish was there, and he brought us a League Cup. We made it to the FA Cup final. The football changed since he was a manager, but listen, he's won a League Cup and made it to FA Cup. But that was the only full season he had as a manager, and they brought in this man after him, which was exciting football. I got to be honest, it was exciting football, but it wasn't success. It wasn't like a lot of success in it. We could have won the league in 2013-14 season, I think it was, but we just couldn't defend. You know what I mean, we couldn't defend to save our lives, and if we had decent defenders, we could have won that league that season, especially with Suarez on fire and Gerrard, and the list goes on. Everybody reminds of the slip of Gerrard, especially Chelsea fans, and you think to yourself, didn't John Terry slip in the Champions League final when he took a penalty and you guys lost to Man United? You know what I mean? Like, people forget. You're talking about Gerrard singing Steven Gerrard slipped on his effing arse and all this stuff, but what about your one? You know what I mean, Chelsea fans? Like, did you forget, like, John Terry in an important game, Champions League final, tried to be the hero and, slipped when he took a penalty? And then hit the post, and it went out wide, and then Man United won the Champions League. You forgot about that? Yeah. Remind yourself that one. Yeah, don't worry about it. It was a final. Don't forget, it was a final. So Brendan Rodgers, it was exciting football. He's currently managing Leicester. I went to obviously Celtic before that, but it was never gonna get anywhere, was it? People I think that job was just too big for Brendan Rodgers. We just had one lucky season, but we didn't get anywhere after that. So let me read the messages before I go to the main guy. Obviously, Aziz says big up Fozzy. Aziz says haven't watched it. Yeah. Evening Fozzy from KE. Aziz says good years for Liverpool on the club. Yeah, you got to be honest, innit? Big up all. Shanks, the best, man. The best. If you haven't heard Shanks, people, go on check him out, man. If you want to hear a dictator, a guy who knows what he's talking about, go on listen to Shanks, man. Aziz says hi, Katie Abdul. Marco says Yes, mate. History lesson. People got to learn. You know, the thing with Liverpool Football Club is people like support. If you look at the current fans, they don't know a lot about Liverpool Football Club. This I know it because I studied Liverpool Football Club. Even though I supported them for all my life, but I know what's behind us. You know what I mean? So that's what you got to think about. You got to think about things like that. You got to like always remind yourself where you come from. RIP Liverpool legends. Yeah, all the management that's passed away and players, ex-players as well. Yes, RIP. You never walk alone from Steve Kopp. Steve Kopkin says, big up Fozzy. And chat, of course. True. Abdul says, King Kenny. Always going to be the king. Never going to underestimate King Kenny. Andrew says, difficult times at the club. At the time, mate. Yeah, listen, you know, like you gotta think about the past and the present. If there was no past we had like that, there wouldn't be the present we have now. So you gotta like go back sometimes and to look at where we was and where we come from, if you know what I mean. Justice for the 97. Yes, people change it to 97. It's no more 96. What's up from C Joy, the GOAT? Thank you, bro. He's living legend. King Kenny, of course, and you know the rest. Yeah, Manx caught up. It's just unfortunate, like I said, with the Manx, it's always going to be like that, isn't it? The Premier League was made for them. It wasn't made for Liverpool Football Club, so you got to be honest with that. And hang on, saw Fergie on telly the other day. don't respect the guy. I mean, he wanted to knock Liverpool off their perch, and he did it. So yeah, he done what he had to do. Another LFC legend. So many legends, mate. So many, Andrew. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. Anyway, I appreciate that. Much appreciated. It's been an international football break, and it's been boring. So I gotta bring something for you fans. Respect though. 100% legend of a player. Yes. Big up, mate. From Joe Powell, just passing by. No problem, Joe. Bob Games. Yo, bro. How's it going? I'm alright, bro. Yeah, I mean, like I got time off, so I got to spend time on this channel just to promote it as as far as possible. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe and give us some more, prompts around the social media. Just share this channel around and let them know who we are. There's a group of us on here. Obviously, myself and Laser are in charge of it, and you've got Maria, you've got Antonis, you've got Rob, you got so many people in here as well. So we're gonna make it as far as possible on this channel. So please, share it around. RIP from Aziz. Aziz says a lot of LFC legends passed away recently. So it's sad. Yeah, listen, it's life, innit? Life doesn't last for everyone. That's what you got to understand. And all this hatred towards each other and all that stuff. You just let it go, man, because you never know what's gonna happen tomorrow, man. It's all about here and now. It's all about here and now, and you got to be honest with yourself. Yes, loyalty. But we've got the UEFA Champions League. Istanbul 05 was a miracle indeed. Did you bin your shirt, mate? I'm dying. I threw it away. I can't go into details. You know what I mean? Because I was so, like when you go through so many years of the same stuff and then you just get fed up. That's what happened to me on that day. I just threw it away. Jason, the whole damn show evening. Oh, thanks for coming on, bro. But I got it back. The shirt, the Carlsberg bit in the front is all disappeared though because it's so old. Everyone hit the like button for Fozzy. Thank you very much, Abdul. Roy, thanks but no thanks. Roy Hodgson, that is. How lucky are we to have Klopp now? Yeah, listen, Klopp is currently the best manager in the world, in my opinion. I'm not gonna not say that when you got Pep and all them around. You have to be realistic. I mean, for what he hasn't got the money, he hasn't got the support from the owners like other managers have. But what he's got, he's always grateful for, and he does the job. That's what like they said, he does what it says on the tin. So you can't really deny that. Everyone wants to have a whinge. Just think about the times with Roy Hodgson in charge. Yeah, true. Hello, Fozzy, everyone in the chat. Janet, thank you for coming on. good times with Rodgers. To be fair, I enjoyed some of it. You know what I mean? But you know, if we had decent defenders, it could have been better. But we didn't have no decent defenders with Brendan Rodgers. You know what I mean? It was just too open football, and it just ruined the league title that this season. And Man City unfortunately won it. Yes, could have won the league a couple of times. Yeah, we kept blowing it a couple of times as well. But we could have been worse too. Yeah, agreed. Don't want to hear about Gerrard's slip, guys. Yeah, but listen, you have to talk about it. It's part of the history of Liverpool. Bad times, you know what I mean? If we're going to talk about the bad times, if you're going to talk about the good times, you got to talk about the bad times as well, and we have to talk about that. You have to learn about LFC history, Shankly, Paisley, Kenny. Yeah, you have to, man. If you don't know, if you pretend you know about Liverpool, it's just the wrong way of going things. Like I said, the majority of the fans of today is Gerrard, and after that, it shouldn't be like that. Learn about the history of the club, you know what I mean, and see where the success started from, and then you'll know what Liverpool is and what it means to us. Katie says, best team on earth by far. Hello, Janet. That's it. So I've done the things. So we're going to be speaking about this guy now, Mr. There he is, Mr. Jurgen Klopp. What can I say about the guy? What can I say? Turned up in 2015. Not many expected it. A lot of people were saying, actually, why don't we get Ancelotti instead of like Klopp? That's what a lot of people were saying, believe it or not, people. I was even thinking that way because I didn't know a lot about Klopp. I knew he won the championship with Leverkusen. What am I saying? Dortmund, Borussia Dortmund, and all that stuff. But I didn't know much about him because I don't watch the German league, so I didn't know much about him. And then, the rest is history with him. He's an amazing manager. He's one of those managers that if you just watch him, you just want to play for him, or you want to support him. Even if you're a rival team, how can you not like Mr. Jurgen Klopp? You know what I mean? It doesn't even make any sense when people actually trash this guy. He doesn't need money. He can do miracles with low budget, and he could still win you titles. You know what I mean? He deserves a lot of respect. When he first came, I want to turn you guys from doubters to believers. I said, what? That's a bit, that's a bit quick saying that. And then, look what happened. And then he said, if I don't win a title in the next 4 to 5 years, I'll go manage somewhere in Switzerland. You know what I mean? And he's won the Champions League and the Premier League. Who says things like that and it comes true? Other than Shankly and Klopp. So that's what I'm saying, people. You got to give these guys respect, especially this guy, man. I'm worried. If he leaves in 2024, where are Liverpool going to be? Everybody's taking Gerrard and all this stuff off. Yeah, but Gerrard can come in and he might do a bad job, people. You know what I mean? Sometimes the legends ain't the ones who's supposed to manage your club. And we can't lose Klopp, people. We've got to keep this guy around for years, man, because this excitement and all these players that's coming to Liverpool Football Club, you're not going to get anywhere else other than with him in charge. You know what I mean? Because we don't give the best wages, we don't give the best offers for players, but when he's in charge, a lot of players outside Liverpool Football Club want to come and play for him. You got to be real. You got to be real. You know what I mean? And I love the guy, man. I just don't want to lose this manager. I was hoping he will stay around for years to come as well. And but Liverpool have to do it by any means to keep him. 2024 shouldn't be the last contract of Klopp. It should be more than that. Another 7 years, 8 years, whatever it is. Just retire at Liverpool, I say, because we could have more success with him in charge, if you know what I mean, people. Especially with these Arabs coming into these smaller clubs. And if he leaves, it's going to be a struggle for us to compete with teams like that. It is. I'm telling you, people. I'm telling you right now. It's going to be a struggle if he leaves and all these smaller clubs that's got this rich oil money coming in, competing in the league. Because there's no manager like him. You could give him, a small player and he would turn him to a superstar. That's what he does. That's what he's all about. And we got to keep him somehow, some way. So you look at his honours. He's only been here since 2015. How many managers can say with the budget he has, he's won like one Premier League title, one Champions League title, and one Super Cup, and one World Cup. Sorry, I misspelled that bit. So it's World Club Cup. So how many managers can say like they've won all that stuff like as a manager? How many? Especially you look at Pep Guardiola. He's been in that job since Jurgen Klopp has been in charge at Liverpool. Still searching for a Champions League, and everybody's telling me he's the best manager since sliced bread. But if you got all that money, all that finance, all that backing at Man City, how can you not win at least one Champions League title? And Klopp has already done that. You know what I mean? In such a short time. Since 2015 to 2019, he's won all those trophies, and not many people give him props for that. Yes, 6 years under Klopp. I hope many more. I want to see him like longevity-wise. I hope he stays for a long, long time. I hope these owners can do a miracle and keep him as long as possible, because you're not going to get a manager like this anywhere else. Let's just be honest there, people. He is the normal one. I mean, he is the one that's putting us in a pedestal, like with teams that's got, enormous financial power, and he competes with that on a regular basis. Think about that, people. You know what I'm saying? Don't agree, Fozzy. Not the majority of the fans, probably just the young fans. Or you talking about like the 2005 thing I was talking about? Yeah, listen, like people need to study Liverpool. That's all I can say. Like, understand what Liverpool's all about. I do this off the cuff. I don't really like. I haven't got no script or anything like that. I just talk about what I know. So that's how I do it. Got to watch those old games shown on LFC TV. Yeah, you have to. The normal one. Yes, the normal one. He's the best one. He is I can't even say this word. Charismatic. That's it. Charismatic. He's outstanding. You can tell players take pride in playing for him and enjoy it too. Yeah, not many people can say what he can say, man, because he's a special guy, very special guy. Normal one. Sorry again. What was I? Massive respect for Jurgen Klopp, of course. I'd like Gerrard one day for sure. Sometimes you got to be careful what you wish for. Look at Graham Souness, who was in charge in '92. It wasn't the most successful time at Liverpool Football Club, and people still like have that on him, and they keep reminding people like what he's done, and he ruined Liverpool, and that ruined his legacy at the same time as well. But don't forget the player. The manager might have been terrible, Graham Souness, the manager, but the player was one of the best midfielders we ever had. If you put 11 players on the pitch for Liverpool's greatest of all time, Graham Souness will be in it, people. So respect the man. Maybe not just yet. Yeah, Gerrard, that is. Yes, Abdul says, hope he stays. Yeah, Klopp has to stay, people. By any means necessary. We need the financial power to compete, yes, but we cannot lose Klopp, because if it goes all tits up, and and the Premier League and the world of football says you have to spend what you earn only, he needs to be at Liverpool because he can win more titles than anyone else, because Pep needs money. Newcastle now need money to spend to get players. They're already sacking Steve Bruce, so the list goes on. We're in more problems now than we're ever going to be, because we need to find a way to compete with these teams, and if we don't compete with these teams, we're going to be in the probably below the Champions League spot in the next few seasons, which is going to be scary. And that's the last thing we want at Liverpool Football Club, not being in the Champions League, not being the elite of elites club that's always competing for things like that as well. Let's finish with Jurgen Klopp. Obviously we've been speaking about him. 6 years, I hope more than 6 years comes back, like in the next years to come. I'd like to thank him because the guy brought us the Premier League. We've never won the Premier League with Liverpool Football Club. Yes, we won the first division. They renamed it, obviously. They changed the trophy, but he's done it. He's done it. Not many managers can say what he's done. And congratulations on the 6 years. I hope many more to come, because FSG need him more than he needs FSG, if you know what I mean, people. And they better do a miracle to keep this guy beyond 2024, because years go by so quick and it's unreal. Irmina B says, Jurgen, the best manager, full stop. Can't deny that. Thank you everyone for turning up. Much appreciated. Please smash that like button. As he says, great little history lesson for Fozzie. No worries, people need to learn, you know what I mean? And if you don't give a history lesson, what do they know about your football club? Everybody pretends to know what they're watching, but you don't go back to history and understand where we started from, you know what I mean? Like I said, Bill Shankly got us from the second division to the first, and when we was in the second division, we was like rubbish. Like, he called it toilet. It was like a toilet at Anfield. And yeah, he's done a miracle at this football club. People, yeah, just study your club, man. That's what I can say. Cheers for that. Thank you for the stream, Fozzie. Much appreciated. No worries, man. Katie, sorry. Yes, Fozzie. Yes, Daz. Thanks, bro. Thank you for tuning in. Please go and subscribe to Daz TV, people. He's a genuine good guy, and he's if you want to learn history as well, he knows more than most. So please go and subscribe to him because he's a fantastic guy, no doubt. Yes, big up. Jurgen is the modern day Shanks. No doubt, Daz. No doubt, man. People need to understand that as well. I've always said it, Daz. Like, understand your history before like you start talking a lot about Liverpool Football Club. You know what I mean? And I was born in '79, but I know our first FA Cup was 1965, you know what I mean? But I don't know beyond that because I don't go that far. But I know from 1965 we won the Champions League, the league, and the rest is history, if you know what I mean. Yeah, started with Shanks, and Klopp, I hope many more years to come with him. And yeah, thanks for the 6 years, I say, because I remember when we won the league, when Chelsea beat Man City at Stamford Bridge. I've never like in football terms, we used to win a lot in the 80s and the 90s. You know, like Liverpool always wins trophies no matter who's the manager. But I lost the plot, people. Like, I was crying like a baby because I suffered from 1991 onwards since we didn't win the league title. Like, I was part of those fans that says next year's is ours. You know what I mean? I was part of that generation, and for that to stop, and then you see the relief that comes out of you at the end. I've never thought I would cry. It was just tears of emotions. It was like I couldn't believe what was coming out. I was crying like a little kid, and I'm in my 40s. I'm thinking to myself, damn, Fozzie, man, you could cry at any stage of your life if you're relieved about something you've been waiting for years. And yeah, man. But I'm looking forward to the coming seasons and the Klopp. You know what I mean? Like I said, this year, it's not over yet. We've got a couple of months to go, but we're going to be going to a lot of games at Anfield. So please, yeah, people, follow us. If you haven't subscribe. If you haven't like as well. And hopefully we're going to bring some more previews, reviews as well. I don't know if we're going to bring anything tomorrow because I already bought a couple of days of this. There's no football, obviously, but I might just bring a little video if something happens. And we could just talk about the coming games. In the Champions League and the Premier League as well. So yeah, we might do a little thing, but I think the next time we'll be back as a group, it should be on Thursday, I hope, so we can speak to everyone as well. Yeah. Daz TV, spirit of Shankly lives on always. Next season is ours for 8 years. Think we all cried. I was like a baby, couldn't believe it. It's good time to be red, entertaining, footy, trophies, and a great direction. Yeah, bro, listen, Liverpool Football Club is back to where we belong, and we don't need the financial powers of other clubs, but we always find a way, don't we, Daz? We always find a way, and hopefully, like I said, Klopp stays with us for as long as possible so we could compete for years and years and years to come, because we need this guy at our club. We don't need billions, we don't need trillions. As long as we got Klopp, the world is our oyster. That's what I say. Yes, people, please like, share, and subscribe. And I hope you enjoyed this little history lesson. And thanking Mr. Klopp for the 6 years. There's no one better, in my opinion. There's no one better than Klopp. 6 years of Klopp at Liverpool Football Club. He promised us all that success, and he delivered. He absolutely delivered, and he didn't lie to those. Well, not lie. I'm saying he didn't. Those words he said came true. When you got someone like that saying things like that, and then it comes true, that shows how much of a special manager he is. And there's no one like that. I mean, you could say Pep, all that stuff, but Pep's only worked at big clubs. Let's see him if he works at Arsenal, if he could do the miracles at Arsenal. You know what I mean? Yeah. Thank you, Klopp, and hopefully many more years to come. Thank you, Fozzy. Big up, mate. Yes, people. Like I always say, please like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you. I'll see you soon. See you. See you soon. I see you soon. I see you soon. Take care, everyone.